Okay, I've been waiting for this day for a very long time. My glasses are looking great. My hair is looking exceptionally awesome. I've got a red coat on because of a certain anime we're talking about. I am pumped to talk about Full Metal Alchemist. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Today we're talking about full. So, apparently, I got that confused. We're talking about Full Metal Panic? I'm keeping this coat on. Hello everybody, welcome to another fun-filled episode of Let's Talk Anime. I'm Derangerous, and let's talk about war. Huh? Yeah. Now what is it good for? And it's absolutely nothing. Please don't let the estate of Mr. Edwin Starr sue me. I don't have a lot of money. But speaking of war, we're going to be focusing on one specific anime. And that anime is most definitely not Full Metal Alchemist. Even though I got the red coat on because I kind of thought we were talking about Full Metal Alchemist. We're talking about Full Metal Panic. Now, Full Metal Panic is an anime you can find on Crunchyroll. But I bet you're wondering, if you see Full Metal Panic, you start to go, which one do I go for? Well, it's simple. All of them. Go for all of them, okay? But you gotta go in order, okay? You've got Full Metal Panic, Full Metal Panic Fumofu, Full Metal Panic the second raid, even though it's the third series in the order, Semantics, and also Full Metal Panic Invisible Victory. You know, victory. Now, to understand Full Metal Panic, you gotta understand its creator. And our creator for this series is none other than Shoji Gato. Shoji Gato hails from the Shiba Prefecture and is a novelist by trade. He can regale you with his words, especially when he gets into Twitter feuds with a 16-year-old Swedish girl. It's a long story that I really don't feel like explaining, so just Google it. It's kind of sad. But anyway, one day, Shoji was on his way to work over at Gonzo, and when he was heading up there, he bumped into somebody. That person he bumped into was Koichi Chigira. He thought that was just somebody on accident. You know, he was on his way to work. I mean, it's just some nobody. You don't care. So the moment he got to work over at Gonzo, believe it or not, he runs into Chigira. And Koichi Chigira is a pretty well-known person when it comes to directing. I mean, I can honestly say I watched Last Exile, one of the things he directed, and it's good. It is really good. Shoji and Koichi would one day come together and do the Full Metal Panic anime. Shoji would be doing the writing, while Koichi would be doing the directing, and altogether it turned out amazing. But I'm talking so much about Full Metal Panic, so I bet you're wondering right now, what is Full Metal Panic? Well, the plot of Full Metal Panic is this. The brain. Well, to be more frank, you've got these individuals. They're called the Whispered. These people have the capability of understanding math and science to the highest degree. I mean, really high. They use their brain power to create some kick-ass technology. I mean, hella advanced shit. Okay? I mean, the most technology I have invented is, here's Jotaro Kujo. Is this technology? But the technology they make can literally turn the tide in any war. In fact, if one person were to get a hold of a Whispered, they could instantly boost up their power and have them mass produce some wicked weapon that no one could defend against. But there is someone who's in the way and stopping some of these terrorist groups. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Mithril. Mithril's job is to protect a certain Whispered or Whispered, people with that techno thingy, you know. Mithril is protecting one specific girl, and she goes to a Japanese high school. So, her protector is none other than a combination of Solid Snake and Rambo. Now, before I start telling you about the characters in Full Metal Panic, there's one thing you gotta realize. You see, Full Metal Panic female characters are not like your everyday anime female characters. Basically, they don't play the helpless damsel in distress. In fact, a lot of the main female characters are the exact opposite. Our first character is Sosuke Sagara. Sosuke is a well-trained soldier. He's 16 years old, and he holds the ranking of sergeant. Sosuke has one gigantic problem. He's a well-trained soldier, but he's a teenager, and he's in high school. Sosuke was trained at a young age. I mean, he was always on the battlefield, even as a kid, to the point where he doesn't know how to act his age. Here's what I mean. Sosuke lacks basic social skills. He doesn't understand what friendship is like among actual high schoolers. In fact, most of the time, it's usually him doing something hella extreme. Certain things kind of go way over his head. Oh, one more thing. Sosuke packs heat at school, which is dangerous. Our first female character in Full Metal Panic I want to introduce you to is Kaname Chidori. Kaname is your basic high school student. She wakes up every morning, she gets ready, and she has to deal with Sosuke Sagara's craziness on a daily basis. Mainly because that is who Sosuke has to protect. But fret not, she is not your everyday damsel in distress. I mean, one of the worst things someone can do is actually kidnap Kaname, because kidnapping her is like trying to pick up a chihuahua. She's gonna fight, and it's not gonna be fun. And considering the fact that she has to deal with the stupid shit Sosuke does on a daily basis, she's a pure example that she's tired of your shit, and she's not afraid to fight back. Our next character is Kurz Weber. Kurz is, he's basically a ladies' man. It's plain and simple. Also used to play in a band, and he is hella perverted, but, in a huge but, he is someone who will always have your back no matter what. And also, he's a kick-ass sniper. He's also in the sergeant class, as well as being 19 years old. And yeah, he's German. A fun fact about Kurz is his voice. You see, in the Japanese version of Full Metal Panic, Kurz will, talk like a sailor. He'll sit there and go, shit, fuck. That got bleeped. But in the English dub, his voice actor actually does not curse a lot. Yeah. Still an amazing character regardless. Our next character is Melissa Mao. Melissa is the oldest. She is 25 years old. She is, what's the best way for me to say this? She's the best, okay? She is literally the best soldier Mithril has, okay? I mean, there's some things that she's not good at, but when it comes to stuff on the field, she is the best. She's smart, she's tactical. Hell, there's a reason why she's the lieutenant. And her backstory, all I will tell you is she was in an arranged marriage, and on the day of her wedding, she just basically left and enlisted in the United States Marine Corps in her wedding dress. That's badass. But besides that, Melissa is a heavy drinker, a heavy smoker, and she is Sosuke and Kurz's superior officer. And if she's mean to you, she likes you. That's how you know that she's a good friend. Friendship is not a real friendship unless you give your friend a hard time. Friendship. Our last of the main characters is Teleta Tessa Testarossa, also known as Tessa. Tessa is a sweet sweet girl, okay? She's 16. She has her long white hair in a little braid that she likes to play with. And she's just very soft-spoken. And she holds the military ranking of captain. Yes, she's 16 and holds the ranking of captain. To make matters even crazier, never, ever, ever tell her that she cannot do something, okay? Because she will try. She will try, and there's a good chance she will succeed. Now, there are a few different villains in Full Metal Panic, depending on which arc you want to focus on. But one reoccurring villain that is seen is Leonard. Leonard is smart, okay? He knows math and science. He builds different types of things. And wait a second. He's smart, he builds things, and he's a nerd who knows math and science. I wonder, is his last name Hofstadter? Now, a really awesome thing about Full Metal Panic is that it can go from being super dark and serious to lighthearted like that. There are episodes where it can get dark, depressing, bloody, people being shot, people dying in front of your eyes, characters that you bond with, and then you see them die in the next scene, and it can be painful to watch. But then there are moments where it can just be so funny and entertaining to watch. And a lot of the comedy tends to revolve around how Sosuke doesn't know how to function as an actual 16-year-old. Now, Crunchyroll has all the Full Metal Panics in one streaming service. You've got Full Metal Panic, the regular one, Full Metal Panic Fumofu, aka when Sosuke Sagara takes a page out of Frank Reynolds' book and just starts blasting. Full Metal Panic, the second raid, even though it's the third one in the sequence. And finally, Full Metal Panic Invisible Victory. And, oh man, Invisible Victory is the reason why I hesitated on doing Full Metal Panic. You see, for some of you all who don't know, when I do an episode on Let's Talk Anime, I like to do an anime that is either A, completed, or B, has over 100 episodes. But with Full Metal Panic, it's weird. Yes, it doesn't have 100 episodes, but it's debatable if the anime is completed. I mean, as of right now, no new season has been announced. And it's driving me kind of crazy because I need to know how it all ends, okay? Yes, you can figure out how it ends if you read the novels. But this is Let's Talk Anime, not Let's Read a Book. But when it does end, I will, most likely, revisit it. Most likely. Hell, they'll probably make a new series. Maybe Full Metal Panic, Sosuke Goes Insane. But yeah, that was another fun-filled episode of Let's Talk Anime. As usual, I am your host, Bing, the Rangeress. If you like this episode and my swagalicious red coat, please do me a favor and like, comment, subscribe. And if you're on YouTube, hit the bell icon right there. Or is it right there? Just hit a bell icon. That way you get notifications when we upload new shit. And get ready, because the next episode we're talking about an anime that you can find on Funimation, where you should be watching. And I'm gonna see if I can try and bring someone back to life. Until then, peace out. Pew, pew, pew. Finger guns.